Abroad is not necessarily destroying the marriage. It is the kind of work and the lifestyle that we do abroad that is destroying the marriage. For every failed marriage that I've seen abroad, I know 50 that are successful and peaceful. For most black, especially Nigerians, when we come abroad, we start with groundworks, and most people never leave that position till the rest of their life. If you gather 100 Nigerians in the UK, for instance, you can almost predict the work that 65% of them are doing. Most of these unfortunate arrangements are influenced by the visa conditions that most of us have. But the truth is that even when those visa conditions change, most of our people never change. The care worker wants to drive what the tech people are driving, just because we have people that we need to show that we are doing well. For most Nigerians abroad, the hustle for money is often more important than the family. It is almost impossible for you to find a Pakistan that the wife is a care worker and the husband is a care worker. The husband, he's helping the wife to go and improve so that she can get a better job for the house, or the wife is doing the same. Husband is doing his own thrift, ajo like we call them. Wife is doing his own. You might claim that your visa arrangement does not allow you to do business. More often than not, only one person is restricted, not both of you. In a video recently circulating on social media, you will see husband and wife having an argument, and the wife is going to go and bring a knife, threatening the husband. It was just an unfortunate situation. As per usual, there is a discussion that has followed that conversation in the fact that abroad is destroying marriage. I'm sure that if you are in Nigeria or you live abroad, this is not the first time you are hearing that idea that abroad is destroying marriage. Especially, they will say when you bring a woman abroad, once they get abroad, they are going to change and the marriage is probably going to break. And people have proofs for these things. They have one uncle that has happened to, one sister that has happened to. They just have quite a lot of things. Now, I'm trying to give my own opinion on these things because, as far as I'm concerned, abroad is not necessarily destroying the marriage. It is the kind of work and the lifestyle that we do abroad that is destroying the marriage. Let me explain. For every failed marriage that I've seen abroad, I know 50 that are successful and peaceful. So the idea that abroad is destroying marriage is a lie, is a myth. But unfortunately, it's a common concept that people, want us to stay with. And because bad news sells, people want to stay on that. Now, this is not to say that people are not having problem with abroad marriage and all of that. But the question you sincerely really want to ask yourself is, are Nigerians or blacks the only people living abroad? How many times do you see people of other culture, of other tribes, the Pakistans, the Albanians, have this problem of marriage is breaking, because we come abroad, that the marriage is ending? Now, here is my own submission to these things, that the kind of work that we do and also that we do abroad, there are very few marriages that can actually survive that. For most black, especially Nigerians, when we come abroad, we start with groundworks, doing some laborer work, care job, groundworks, and most people never leave that position till the rest of their life. Like, someone can come abroad today and start as a care worker, and you can come back in 20 years, that person is still in the same work, sometimes in the same establishment. It's not like these works are easy or fun to do for them. They will struggle through it, but they will keep at it, because when you live abroad, your basics are met. You have the lights, you have the road. You can see the road I'm working on now. But it doesn't mean that everyone on this road is fine. You can see the house. Yes, people are living in it. It doesn't mean that they can afford the rent. What most people wait for is when the salary comes, they pay the rent, they pay the bills, and they go again the next month. Abroad is one place that you can literally just be living, paying your subscription to live. In fact, abroad is one place that your beginning may be small and your ending may remain small. That is what abroad can do. So for most of our people, the job that we are doing, keeps us in a position of struggle and hustle, and that automatically tells on the family. If you gather 100 Nigerians in the UK, for instance, you can almost predict the work that 65% of them are doing. Most of these unfortunate arrangements are influenced by the visa conditions that most of us have. But the truth is that even when those visa conditions change, most of our people never change, because unfortunately they are now stuck or fixed in that line, of life. Now, you have husband and wife coming to the UK. Unfortunately, the visa restricted one of them or both of them to having to do care work. These are jobs that people will do 10, 11 hours in a day, or some warehouse job. These are jobs that are time consuming. You have 10 hours of shift, 11 hours of shift. In fact, it is common, behavior that husband will do day, wife will do night. There is hardly no time for them to have family time. One advice that gave me a beautiful time in the United Kingdom is advice I got from a man called Imole. Make sure that you are not looking for money above your family. In fact, he said what he would advise is that there is at least one day in the whole week that is his family day, to play with the wife, to play with the kids. That make sure that no work will just come and say, oh, that's a 6-hour shift, let me quickly go and pick it. That's a 2-hour shift, let me quickly go and pick it so that I can get some money. Make sure that you focus on family, that the system will test you whether you are here to hustle or family is important to you. And I believe this is one question that most of us abroad have not been able to answer, because you see, for most Nigerians abroad, the hustle for money is often more important than the family, both men and women. Now, I will appreciate that this is a very funny conversation, because most people would not believe it is. But you have a situation where you can give almost 60 hours of work in a week to a job, but then you cannot give 7 hours unhindered time to your family, to your kids. You cannot do it. So by the time you begin to check it, you will discover that your priority is actually in the hustle. There's a funny thing that people say when they come into the UK, especially, oh, I've come here for the kids. Even the kids that we lie that we've come here for, we don't have the time for them. So we need to, first of all, check the idea of priority. Is our priority sincerely really right? Another issue is that we very rarely run businesses. Like, if you gather 100 Nigerians again, you'll probably find a very few of them running business. Again, because of restriction based on their visa. But some, because they just don't want to take the risk. They want the easy way of going, pack some shifts, and come back home. Now, if you look at other culture, it is not like that. It is almost impossible for you to find a Pakistan that the wife is a care worker and the husband is a care worker, and they both go in the morning or go night and day. You very rarely will see that. They don't structure their home in such a way that husband is hustling, wife is hustling. What you will find is husband is probably running the business, wife is working, or wife is, they are doing vice versa, or both of them are running the business. Now, this gives them the chance and time to have time for their family, their marriage, their children. Now, these are things that are not common in our whole family, because unfortunately, we wake up in the morning, we rush out. That is if we even get to sleep at home, because for some people, they don't even sleep at home. Then you come back home, your wife has left because she had to go and do day. You are just coming back from night. Very few marriage can survive those arrangements, like I said. Again, like I said, it is becoming increasingly stressful for me personally to see that most husband and wife cannot work together when we move abroad. You see, times are very stressful, perilous, cost of living is going crazy, is going wire. But unfortunately for most of us blacks, when we move abroad, the wife has a project that she wants to do. The husband has his own project that they want to do. So everybody is working, individual. In fact, what you have in most cases is husband is doing his own trips, ajo, like we call them. Wife is doing his own. Wife is probably sending money to her own parents at home to help her build something in secret so that the husband does not know. Probably the husband is doing something like that too. So we are not working together. So we really cannot actually attack the system and win. I appreciate the fact that these are very difficult conversations. But of course, I've been married for a bit myself also. And for everyone that has been a success that I've seen in the United Kingdom especially, that are married, they are husband and wives that respect themselves, that work together. You very rarely see them in that hustle mode. In fact, I make it a personal habit when I see a man or a woman doing very well in the United Kingdom, I always ask about their marital status. And when they said they are married, I want to ask, so where is your wife? What does she do? How are you running? And the stories are always the same. It's either you find a situation where the husband, he's helping the wife to go and improve so that she can get a better job for the house, or the wife is doing the same, for the husband, or they are both working to run a business together. You very rarely see the two of them hustling, that one is going morning, one is going night. And you see, the arrangement with living abroad is that it's a lot of mirage, because you can see someone driving a car abroad and the family is stressed, because you see the car that is driving, it needs to resume to work the next morning to service that car, so everyone can be living in a good house, even eating some meals, because of course you don't even need plenty of money to eat in this part of the world, and you really be abroad looking as if you are doing well. But the most important thing, which is family, is actually getting attacked and getting stressed. The wife is stressed, the husband is stressed, the children are stressed, they are not seeing each other because of the level of hustle that they have acquired, into the family. And the husband and wife are not working well. Then, somewhere along the line, naturally, the family, the marriage will get a hit. The children will not listen again, they will become wayward. Something just happens. Then we blame living abroad, forgetting the fact that this is a family that we don't give attention to. Like, you can almost look at our community and see our attitude towards marriage, our attitude towards children, and look at other communities in the United Kingdom, for instance, and clearly see a distinction in approach, in value that both place on family. Because for us, it's about hustle. It's about how many shifts can I do this week? How much money are they owing me? How much can I earn? For them, it's about stability. It's about longevity. It's about the future for them. They are not in some funny hustle mode. They are working together, which is why I said it is almost impossible for you to see some of these other nationals that husband is doing night job, wife is doing night job, husband is doing day, wife is doing day. You really cannot find them in those jobs, which is why when you go into some of these jobs, maybe a care home, a warehouse, you probably can find husband and wife on the same floor doing the same thing, working. But it is very rare that you find other tribes doing that same thing, other nationalities rather, doing that same thing like that. They structure themselves very much differently, and they are patient to grow. They are not in some awesome mode that we have put ourselves, because unfortunately, for some of us here, people can be doing care job in the UK, but they want to drive a nice BMW. A care worker wants to drive what the tech people are driving, just because we have people that we need to show that we are doing well. Someone that is struggling, we want to use the latest iPhone, just because we want to show people that, oh, I'm doing amazingly well. But then we put all of these crazy bills on ourselves, we put all of this crazy stress on ourselves, forgetting what is actually truly important. The kids, the children. Very rarely we have family time. So personally, my submission, I don't believe that abroad is the one breaking marriages. Hopefully we can begin to work together, listen to ourselves as husband and wife, and I believe with that we'll begin to have better solutions. Because you see, you can very much link this breakdown to economics. Also, husband and wife should begin to look at starting a business together. Because you see, yes, you might claim that your visa arrangement does not allow you to do business. More often than not, only one person is restricted, not both of you. But if you would work together, both of you can support the one that is not restricted to go and achieve more for the family, and you guys would both win together. The unfortunate part of this situation is that, you see, for most of these marriages that are breaking abroad, the children are actually the real victim. But of course, it's a cost that we are not counting, as a people. But I hope we can understand that that is actually a bigger, cost to pay. So I hope that this helps. And if you have other ideas of what you think married people can do abroad, to survive and keep their family, please drop it in the comment section. As per usual, be nice. And of course, please, if you've watched us far, please do like, drop your comment, and share and subscribe. Thank you.